And a one. Bing, bing, bing. Live. What is this? It's the website one kickoff meeting, or planning meeting, or retrospective, depending on what you look at, what you like. We have Nicola, we have Bill, we have Ben, we have Sam. Key item on the agenda on my mind is potentially moving this meeting to the same time on Mondays. Partly because Aaron, who has got a pull request open, is saying he might be able to make it on Mondays. I'd previously moved the meeting from Fridays to Wednesdays with the hope that Gail would be able to attend. He did attend one and is now gone in communicado. So if people said, Sam, stop moving the meeting around just like for random people who may or may not show up, I'd have a lot of sympathy with that position. But I just wonder, for those of you who are here, is Monday equally as good as Wednesday in the scheme of things for this meeting?
Yep.
For me, Monday's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
Ben?
I have no objection.
That's good to hear. That I might be tempted to then do that. So that's one item out of my way. I guess what I should be doing is what I often do, which is get that little piece of paper. It's not paper, is it really? It's like digital light or whatever it is, and grab that paper. Here we go. No, that goes away. Okay. Gosh. Too many things on the screen. Come on, right. That one will do. I don't need a new one. That's the objectives of the. My computer just being really ridiculously slow. What is happening there? Oh gosh. Okay. Let's have that go over there and make it bigger. Yeah. So my main agenda item there was new meeting time. Does anybody have anything? I can kind of pre-fill. I know Nicola is working on an interesting device upgrade.
Yep.
Nicola, do you have any other website one related issues or things or concerns?
No, this is my first website one meeting, so.
Yeah, and welcome, really, Nicola. By the way, Ben and Bill, Nicola, you don't know each other, I think. Nicola's got us upgraded to Rails 5 on the local support. Woo! So, you know, thinking we might be able to do the same here on website one. So, bada bing, bada bing. Bill, do you have anything on your mind on the website one front?
No, I've not really had a chance to do any of that over the last few days. But there was that, was it the upgrade of the OmniAuth?
Yeah,
gem?
Which we have. The voting has completed, so we can.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, we just review that there. And Ben, I know you said already that you hadn't no particular progress. Anything on your mind about website one, or anything that you want to get out of the meeting?
Yeah, in fact, I was debating whether or not to show up for the reasons I said before. I've got a ticket out, but I've been busy doing other stuff. I looked at the website to see if the meeting was available there, because it hadn't been posted to Slack, and I noticed that the JavaScript thing says that it's live.
Yeah, before it goes live.
Yeah, but that's kind of an issue of the website not really being very tightly coupled to the actual meetings themselves, or the mobs, or the parent. You know, you can't really. It just sort of. I mean, basically the website is saying, as far as I know, these things are going on because that's what's on the schedule.
Right.
But it's speaking with a little bit more authority than that. So I think there might be a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah,
I don't know if that's an issue, or
I think it is an issue. I mean, how seriously it affects the number of people actually attending meetings is an unknown. I think we can certainly hypothesize that it does. There are parts of the site where things are more linked. Like, I believe, I might be wrong, I believe that this button will not appear until someone actually, submits the URL to the Hangout and it passes through the system. But yeah, interestingly, we see here the pop-up now, even though website one planning is live, this is already rolled over to be telling us it's like 3 hours until the run func meeting.
Right. Which it might have been more useful to say it's live with that exclamation point now, and actually not before, when it wasn't true.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that it knows, the fact that those widgets actually know when the meeting has started, suggests to me that JavaScript actually could be updated too to be more truthful.
I think it could, and I think that there are any number of these sorts of things throughout the website that serve as a kind of minor impedance on people coming to the meetings. And I think they're all kind of UX bloopers that I would love to have them all fixed. How even if we could fix them all, it'd be interesting to know how many more people we might or might not get into the meetings, but that's another question. But yes, there are many of these little things. I think the trick is, one approach is to try and fix them individually. We did in the marketing meeting today. Lara was talking about her friend who has become a business analyst, UX person, and getting her involved. Lara's saying she's keen to do a kind of a redesign of the main AV site this year, and I would love to have a complete refresh and all the things that we've learned over the last 3 or 4 years about how it all works. If we could get something that actually people could find their way through a little more easily, that would be huge. But 2018, that's our. Let's see if we can get there this year. It might take a while, but
so it's pretty that thing I just brought up is kind of closely related to the ticket that I have out right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it worth adding that as another ticket, or do you think that? I mean, is that what you were saying? Because I think, we found another one of these UI bloopers. Should we just sort of defer thinking about those until the redesign, or is it worth?
I would definitely. I would. Anytime that I have any kind of thought about how the site could be improved, I would search the issues for having it already been mentioned, and I would add a ticket. Definitely. I mean, it's kind of something that I don't know if it was something that worked better in the past. Like, it used to be the case that we had a plugin for the Hangout that would automatically contact back to the site, and so it would. I think it used to be that the integration between when things said they were live and when they were live was tighter. And since that with the Google Hangout API got cancelled, that no longer works. Certain parts of the site had to be adjusted to that newer lack of information, and they were adjusted, more or less effectively. So, but yeah, that would definitely be something to do. I mean, we could maybe have a quick vote on that. We could even search for it. I guess we've got. I don't know if there's something about liveness in there. I guess we've got here adjusting what gets shown on the event page when the event is live. That's another one there. Yeah, so this is the one that you're working on there. We've got maintaining after broadcast is finished. Yeah, events go live. So I think this is the events go live whether Hangout has started or not. I think is the issue. And I.
It's there. Okay.
Yeah. So this is something, but we could very much, given that you brought it up, we could vote on that. In there.
Sam.
Yes.
Can I get permissions to edit an issue there?
Yes, you certainly can.
Yes.
Let me just pop this into. I guess what we often do, and Nicola, it's the first time in the meeting, is we often get sort of votes started. I guess, given that this was brought up, it's maybe I'll put it in for. This is a voter. So this is about events going live without having actually started. I mean, my assumption is that this is potentially a very serious problem for us, in that over the years, many times people have thought an event was live, tried to get in it, found that they couldn't, and gone, well, this adventure stuff doesn't work, and then just never bothered again. That's sort of how I would end up feeling, encountering this sort of issue.
I imagined that scenario.
Although what I don't have is the numbers on that. Like, I get the sense that people are very nervous about joining Hangouts and live events with other people that they don't know. It's even just to help me sleep at night. I'd love to have it all working, in a nice smooth UX. And I think a smooth UX experience inclines you to trust and trust the system, and that is going to be to your benefit and provide you benefit in the future. So it seems like a good thing to aim for. I guess let me just quickly do that kind of there for me, which I'm running out, which is Sam. Go on, brain. This is the Nisevi is also your GitHub.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can do that in the background. Does anybody have any other tickets or issues that they would like to get voted on, other than the one we've just mentioned?
Nope.
No.
So I think we can then move on from that. We'll maybe go to that vote in a moment. So Bill, we did, I think the last meeting for this OAuth thing, I tried to start a vote. The async voter was down. We fixed it. It's there. Yeah. And it's now, I think we did actually have 3 votes on it, and it's been marked as a medium. So yeah, we all kind of agreed with it. So I mean, that's part of our written or unwritten, I think it is written, but difficult to find, flow is, in order to start working on something, it should be voted on. That's it there. It's been set. Have we assigned you to this? Are you happy to start working on that?
I'm happy to start. Yeah, I can't remember if I was assigned or not.
Yeah, let's just go and have a quick look at that. In the meantime, while I'm just checking on the assignments there and so on, so the other ticket that we're talking about is this one so the issue that Ben just raised, and we found previously. Thanks so much for that one there, Bill. I think Ben and I were busy kind of understanding very much what each other was saying. Did it make sense to you, Bill and Nicola, what we were talking about?
Well, with regards to
this ticket about the events, kind of.
Yeah, I was going to just ask something with regards to that.
Yeah, go on.
At the moment, we're saying that where it says events live doesn't match with what's actually happening. So if it says live, it's not actually necessarily live.
Not necessarily live, yes.
Okay. So so in that, I'm assuming that there are some sort of analytics on the site. I've not actually checked.
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking about you're not sure as to whether this might be stopping people from, they come along, they click, oh, it's live, they click on it, they find it's not working, they never come back. But do the analytics not tell us, where people are dropping off, where people are coming into the site and dropping off, as to whether there are problems there?
That we do have analytics of that sort. The difficulty with it is at the moment is I think it doesn't tell us, for example, it doesn't track people leaving the site or where they go to, which is something we've just been looking into in local support, and we could enable on ours, but maybe that doesn't.
All right.
I mean, I think the difficulty is that for the people who both join the Hangout successfully and those who fail are, to all intents and purposes, the same from the analytics point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Because they end up leaving the site.
Right.
Okay.
I think if we could extract, I just found this thing that allows us to add further tracking that tells us where they go to, like how many times they click on links going out of the site, which is for some reason not stored by Google and its defaults. And if we turn that on, that could be potentially very useful.
All right. I just thought that possibly the analytics card might have been able to tell us more as to what was going on with people coming to the site and leaving or moving on and whatever. Yeah,
well, I think you're absolutely right, and that's something that we've been doing as part of the marketing thing. Well, not necessarily extremely aptly, as in, or the opposite of ineptly. I've written a few blogs and I mean, I've tried to analyze like the flow. We have this plugin that you're more than welcome to get set up with, and I'm very happy to give you the access to the analytics. But so, for example, here, if I turn this on, I can, with this plugin here, like this, I can see for a given page, is it going to take a while to load up? It's busy telling me there nothing. Why is that not working at all?
Where the people is clicking. Yeah.
Say again?
That without you can see where the people is clicking and which part of your page is
works. It will show me like percentages on the different thing. Interestingly, here this is. I mean, maybe my you can see how many tabs I've got open. But yeah, this used to give me I guess that's maybe it's like event 2676 is a strange URL. Let's see if oh, there we go. So this is the kind of thing. So we can see like these are, you know, the statistics analytics related to the page. You can see that we've got like this is like I think over the last 30 days, like nearly more than 13,000 people have landed on our homepage. Yeah. You know, which I think is mainly due to the fact that we have these Google AdWords, and we can see the percentages of where they've been clicking.
It will be nice to convert
like 27%. Sorry, say again.
It would be nice to convert those 3,000 to subscriptions.
Like I would love to get a much higher number of people being converted. That's sort of the key, really. I think we've been making gradual tweaks, such as, you know, the addition of this thing. Like I think, was it in Learn or Code? Like, I mean, Code here, you got 27% people landing on that page. Noticing that, I think, yeah, I then added like a Get Started Now button at the end of this page, so that there was like a clear, okay, you've read this thing about code, and now you want to get started. So 39% are actually going through to there. And then, okay, yeah. So that actually, it takes you to the sign in page, which, and I'm kind of I'm logged in, so it didn't take me there. But that Get Started asks you to sign in. So if I log out, we can sort of see where it goes. But this is, I think, the kind of the bread and butter, like you know, it's what makes the web work, is working out your site, the flow of the people through it. And then, so if it then gets done, it takes us to the sign up, and then we see here. Now, this is the kind of thing, like I would love to know what percentage of people are clicking on with GitHub and with Google and the sign up button, but I think we need slightly more advanced tracking to do that. I think your intuition, Bill, is absolutely correct, and hopefully some of what we can do this year is, you know, tweak the site so that people find themselves in places so that they're being kind of led through a sequence. You know, we've got this getting started thing, which I'm not very happy with. I think it's, I don't know, we've broken it into 7 pieces. I can kind of see, like, if I go through, like here, 913 page views on page 1, and then we can see if we go on, like, oh, that's getting started 1 of 7. That's an interesting link. We can see like only 7.2% of people actually click on step 2. You know, we can see, you know, a few of them, they look through different projects. You know, this is the stuff that I'm like, I wish we could work out you know, the right funnels to you know, communicate our value proposition to the people who are arriving on the site and help them do the things that would allow them to start taking advantage of that value and feel inspired to contribute funds. Yeah, great. The number of people actually on this page 2 of getting started is 61%. I'm sorry, 61 of 900 on the previous page. So there's a lot of content UX design work to do. Sorry, I'm rambling on here. But anyway, did that all make sense, Bill?
Yeah.
But and the marketing meetings, more than, you know, open to everyone. Although, you know, there's not just the site design, so many other things going in there. Right, I've got a bit confused. We were here, talking about this, and of course the departure point was, Bill, you were saying, couldn't the analytics give us some information about, you know, what proportion, and the answers being sort of yes and no and so on. But so, I think what we were on the cusp of doing is potentially voting on this I don't know that my description here. I think my description here might be slightly broader than the one that you'd originally brought up, Ben. But I think it's the same sort of issue. I've got a screenshot there of showing. You can see, like, it was back in the day. It was called the Euro Asia Africa Stand-up.
But yeah, I like you said, there are UI bloopers, and I just kind of noticed one of them. But
yeah,
you sort of mentioned that it's one of a bunch based on a change that was made, and I guess it's the idea that they were more tightly coupled because the Google API used to be different than it is now, and that was kind of an unfortunate change with respect to the UI that we already have.
Yeah, there was definitely changes. Although even that, I don't know if like this pop-up was ever as tightly synchronized as, like, there's the pop-up is sort of separate from the has separate logic from what gets displayed for the actual event thing when you're looking at the event page or looking at a list of events. So but yeah, so I see that Nicola and myself and Ben have voted on this. Bill, did you want to vote on?
Right. Sorry.
No problem at all. And it's entirely up to people to, you can always request more information. There shouldn't be there. But let's reveal that and see what we have. So we've gone for, so Ben and myself are saying medium. Bill and Nicola are saying hard for fixing this issue.
It's no clear majority.
We've got an even split between medium and hard. I'm sort of, I guess the reason I think it might be not so insanely hard is that we do now have a fairly reliable manual mechanism for when the events go live. Like, and it is recorded in the database when the event goes live. I guess the trick with if we were trying to make it specifically for that pop-up is the pop-up would have to be doing an AJAX request to get that. Like, because when you load the page at a given time, I know there's some different things here. You could at least make it so that when you reload the page, if the event hadn't gone live, it wouldn't show that it was. So
I see. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I just stopped talking. I know it seems odd and alien. I'm such a blabbermouth.
Well, you continued to move your mouth though, so I was like,
I guess it's like, yeah, with the thing where I was going to just thinking about all the possible different things that I could be saying. The main one is to link it into Rails 5, which is that, like, for a long time, well, we did at one point try to make it so that the site individual pages would not go stale, that it was like pinging with AJAX requests, and so that the site would always reflect, the current state of the database. It killed the database. It just didn't work from a performance point of view. It seems like WebSockets is the natural solution. If every individual page maintained the WebSocket connection, when an event went live, we could push that information over the WebSockets, and the pages would not go stale. So say that you had, let's have a look, that you were on this page, and now at the moment this is like a JavaScript counter counting down to the time at which we believe the meeting is scheduled to go live. So if we had the WebSockets in place, this would still be counting. The WebSocket would be open. This would count down. It would get to the point when it should go live. It would perhaps sensibly say going live soon. Then when it went live, the information would come over the WebSocket and it would update and say live now. And then it would basically, at least when it got to the end of the scheduled time, it would then say, has now finished. And that would be, if not precisely correct, at least I think give the appearance of consistency throughout, if you know what I mean.
Now I'm kind of more convinced that it's hard, because you're saying that to do this right, you'd have to implement WebSockets throughout the entire site, which hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, I think that's right. Well, at least, so you got two levels there. If you wanted it to be so that you never had stale data in the page, you'd need the WebSockets. If you wanted it just so at the logic that I just described could work if you didn't care about the stale data, so that basically that you could have logic, I think, here without using any WebSockets, that when you refresh the page, right, if the run func best of a meeting had yet to go live, when you refreshed it, rather than saying live, but you might do by default, it would say going live soon if it actually hadn't gone live.
Well, that's doable already without WebSockets.
That's doable without WebSockets.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So it would be, and sensibly this one, I mean, I guess if one wanted to avoid the situation of making things seem like they had gone live when they hadn't, the default operation of this functionality here could be that it would be saying going live, the time, counting down. It would get to the point at which it should go live. It would then say starting soon until, and it would just say it started soon or finished if the it might even say it didn't happen. If you refresh the page and got new data from the database that said it was live, that would be the only case in which it would say it was live.
So we could have logic that looks for that in starting from the time when it's supposed to go live.
Yeah.
So instead of saying it is live, saying going soon, unless it has the information that it doesn't. And in addition, we could create logic that when it's about to stop reporting that it's live, it could test whether or not it had ever gone live.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't, then it could say it could just ignore it and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, and
there's no reason to tell people something didn't happen.
No, or indeed that it's. I mean, the only reason that we would want it to say it's finished is if the counter has been running down and it hasn't got any new information. If it's definitely past the event and there hasn't been a refresh. But what I would say is that that thing of incorporating the liveness or otherwise of the thing is another thing that makes. I think it would sensibly come after the ticket that you're currently working on.
Yeah,
like I'd be tempted to get the absolute simplest thing done to make a valuable change. As you basically, Ben, you and I were originally in agreement that this was medium. Bill and Nicola, did what Ben and I were saying make any sense? Did you want to argue present why you thought it was hard as opposed to medium?
Yeah, well, my reason for hard it was that there are a lot of things that are working together and I don't have idea. So that was basically my main reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be medium, but I don't know.
Yeah, so you're new to the project, so you were
yeah.
What's the hedging your bets? Bill, any strong feelings in any direction?
I mean, I was simply thinking it was hard because it involves playing around both the front end and the back end. So me personally I would have found doing that quite hard. I'm sure others would have found it medium, but for me personally, if I was going to do it, I would personally find it quite hard. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean well, it's an interesting question there about the process of voting. About to what extent does one use would it be hard for me versus for someone else? I guess what I try and push people towards is trying to consider the intrinsic complexity of the task. In that, my rule of thumb is, if it's just a change to the view, then it's kind of simple, cosmetic change. It's a one. If it involves a change to the database in terms of a structural change to the database or a new gem file, then that's kind of right. We're shading into 2, medium territory, and 3, if it's like, okay, significant changes to the database, lots of refactoring code, multiple new gems, or some combination, right? That's where we are in sort of a 3. And I guess with this one, we've at least got a working system where this is the front end, but it is also interacting with the database, and so we've got a working example of it there. It's sort of it might have been a 3 when it was done because it involved pulling in some new JavaScript and then also might have been even adding things to the database. Since it's kind of there, and what we're talking about is tweaking the logic. I think there's a difference in how difficult it would be to build from scratch versus just changing something that's already partially working.
Yeah, I think the same.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense the way you've described it.
Yeah. So shall we put it down as a medium for the time being?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Good show. All right, so I think we've done our voting on a couple of things. We've got, I think everybody's got a ticket assigned to them at the moment. I'm trying to, my main thing I'm trying to work on is this updating the premium member model, and I've got like a halfway open podcast, and I've been sidetracked with other stuff, and I haven't been able to get to it. So it is what it is. What was I going to say there? I guess we've kind of covered all the things that we maybe need to cover. The only thing that I can think of that's left is that Nicola is sort of a bit stuck on this the thing that he's got. But Bill and Ben, you're both in principle free to move forward on your respective tasks. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. So what I will do is I'm going to add Nicola to the Website One collaborators, as I've previously done for you folks. There. I'm going to add you there. So you should have permissions on Website One now, Nicola.
Nice. Thank you.
And if I go to here, this is the one. We were on this. That's a 2. We could. Yeah, I mean the interesting thing is if we do get the Rails 5 upgrade, that's what opens the door for WebSockets within the existing site. So yeah, let's put that into the ready thing, but let's put it behind. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's meeting kind of covered. Talking about moving it to Monday next week. I would love to have. I'd just be so nice to be independently wealthy and just be able to focus completely on this project. That would be truly, truly, truly great. But we are where we are. Yeah. So Nicola, should we just have a quick look at the thing that you're stuck on? And
Yeah,
Bill and Ben, of course, you're absolutely welcome. Yeah, to stick around for this, and don't feel you have to if you're need to be somewhere. But yeah, so we've got some weird issue here with the RSpec. Now this is like intermittently failing RSpec, or RSpec failing in batch but not individually or something. Anyway, tell us what's going on, Nicola.
Yeah, for example, here I'm running the RSpec test. They are passing, right?
Okay.
They're here. I'm running it again, and they are failing.
Oh, okay.
And the ones that are failing are the ones with events specs on request. And after that, the ones that are failing are all of these.
So right, and so you're on a branch here where Devise has been upgraded. And yeah, like different subsets of tests are failing with no clear pattern.
Yep.
Weird.
Yes.
I guess what we can at least do, the very least thing we can do, is for me to grab the branch that you're on and see what it does from me.
Yeah.
But, now
the thing that I saw, it was an issue that it was here with the shellcoder sham. Here, that one. So I did a modification to the configuration that it needs to be done before we stop the object, but it didn't work. So
okay. Yes. So before that's good background. What's the branch name? And are you on a fork? So I need to do like git remote add Nicola, and then
give me a second.
Yeah, you have a pull request open, don't you?
Yes, I have a pull request here. This one. I think that you will need that.
Yeah. But yeah, so and what I will do here is I will see what I need as well is I need the URL of the repository, which I'm getting over here in another tab. I now have, so I need to add you as a remote.
Yeah, I remember.
Like this, and then I
have to go to
fetch Nicola. And then this is, as we were talking about, I forget which meeting it was earlier on. Yeah, now if I have the branch name, then I can do git checkout like this. And see here, in this case, I didn't have to do -b. In this case, on your fork, for me, it went and got me it automatically created a tracking branch.
Yeah.
There. So here I would clearly need to do bundle because you're upgrading devise.
Yes.
Background for this for Bill and Ben is that Nicola has got devise upgraded to the latest version on local support, and the main change there, it seemed to be blocked on both projects. The main change there was just actually changes to the tests and the way in which the tests were kind of faking out
exactly. Yeah.
the login process for speed. Maybe we're not doing that in website 1. So we've run into some different problems.
I think so.
Here, and yeah, I guess. Yeah, intermittently failing tests are the worst. That's particularly strange to see there. Like that's them with the same you using the same precise command there to like
bundle
like you were just showing, like bundle exec rspec, and in each case it was just
and the thing is that if you run it like individually, they will pass.
They will pass.
I don't know why.
Yeah, and that's oh yeah. So I've encountered this before in different circumstances, which is that you can have individually passing tests that then fail in batch, and that's gonna be because there's some failure to effectively isolate the tests. Yeah. No, I assume you've done a sanity check and checked back out to develop and run bundle exec rspec, and it passes green repeatedly on the main branch, and so then we have to come back to the set of changes that we've got in there. Goodness. Okay, so we've got website 1, and again I want the pull requests. Let's get those up here. I mean, and this is, I think, that ironic for all this power and everything. Why does it take? You know, the tests are supposed to like make our lives easier. Why does it feel like we end up spending 10 or 20 times longer on the tests than we do on actually writing the logic for the things to operate? But so the change.
That's not normal.
Say again, Ben.
That's not how it's supposed to be. That's been my experience in general. I
think in principle, you know, it feels like it shouldn't have to be. I think the reality is that it is. It sort of depends on the test. I think if you, for example, do a testing philosophy where you focused almost exclusively on unit tests and you say, right, we're not going to do acceptance tests, and you just have like manual testers, I think that can be a different story. I think it's often the acceptance tests that give, but even then, but so we've got so basically the changes are that we've got the devise upgrade. We've now changed this sanitizer operator. So this is, you know, the new. Presumably here you referred to documents from devise, that this is now the correct way to do it.
Yep. In the description, you will find the link where they say how to.
Okay,
manage.
Fantastic. Yeah, and then so I've got here user spec, and
that was the last.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of those that certainly 2 of them look very similar. Yeah. So I'm going to get 3 failures there. Got this geo, and we're adding a stub here, and this is just okay. Yeah, none. So yeah, and none of those things obviously seem like that they would cause the kind of problems that we're encountering here. Gosh.
Sorry.
No problem. I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, the things on my mind are that in devise and installing devise, which as we know is all for like handling our logins and sign up and so on, is that there are operations that one can do where one kind of like gets stuff that's sometimes inside the devise gem and lays it out on the file system so that you can edit it subsequently, like templates for the different things. That if you're in your like vanilla device setup, if they're just there. And then there's like various kind of generate or expand or what have you commands that you can use that will have been run. I mean, this is one of the issues with the whole Rails generate a load of stuff approach that it takes, is that then when you upgrade something later on, various of the stuff that might have been laid out on the file system, you know, and stored and checked into Git now doesn't work with the new version. But yeah, that looks like that's, yeah. So it looks like here, okay, I'm getting that set there, which is what you, what we're seeing.
Yes.
And I guess we can then maybe potentially confirm that the, okay. And these are then with the, well, the registrations controllers. Quest spec. Yeah. I think we're probably not going to have a breakthrough today on these.
No worries. I mean, I will keep working on this. So
no problem. And I think it may require like a careful look at these individual things to find those.
Maybe one of the things that I can do is the upgrade, but not directly to 4.4, just one by one, and
that's a sensible thing.
The same that I did in local support, but
that's a great approach. But yeah, we've at least got the sanity check here that the things that you're seeing on your local computer are what we're seeing on mine as well. And this is interesting here. We've got an unknown stub request for 127001 on geocoder. I mean, presumably, if that's the consistent error throughout, one quick fix for this would be to come in here and add a stub for the local host.
Oh, okay.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I will try that.
All right.
Sure.
Great stuff. Okay. Well, thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Really appreciate everybody coming, particularly Ben, Johnny. It's lovely to have a group, and then we can vote on things and chat, and it's nice. I think we'll switch to Monday for next week, and do any website one stuff. I love to get the site to. Oh, that's the other thing to say is like I'm almost like when we encounter bugs like this, I'm like, oh, I want to rebuild the site from scratch with a new Rails. Rails new, and then let's put the new device in and like get rid of all the crap. But yes, with infinite time, I'll work out a clone myself, and all of you. Then we'll all like good stuff. All right, have a wonderful evening, afternoon, whatever it is in your time zone, and see you soon.
Bye. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.